but I've seen too much.
Well, we'll try and keep up.
Christopher Nolan has pretty much done nothing but drop amazing film after amazing film his entire career. And Tenet doesn't really seem to be changing that any. And this latest trailer really has me personally hyped. Confused, but hyped. Wait, confused? Why? Well, even with this latest batch of footage, I'm still a bit lost about what exactly is going on here. Sure, the visuals are super trippy and are seemingly set to make what we saw in Inception look like child's play, but I still have basically no idea what's actually happening in the movie. And that's exactly why I'm going to take a look at what we know about the film, via the latest trailer and all of the other footage that we've seen. How does the time manipulation stuff work? How does Kenneth Branagh play into things? What does he want to achieve? These are the sort of questions that I need answered. So sit back and relax as I try to find these answers right about now. Let's dive right into it. Okay, let's start this video off by taking a very brief look at what the latest trailer has added to the conversation. Because honestly, before we got this last batch of footage, we really didn't have much besides some pretty imagery. So by far the largest and most important thing that we've gotten from this latest trailer is a bit more clarification on what is actually happening during all those crazy visuals. It turns out, just as many people all across the internet had theorized, it does indeed have something to do with time being manipulated, seemingly only within a certain radius. In the latest trailer, we get a shot of our as of yet unnamed protagonist at a shooting range, only he isn't firing the pistol in a traditional sense, as the rounds are instead coming back out of the target and into his gun. The scientist-looking individual behind him remarks that he isn't shooting the bullet, but catching it. Now this raises an interesting question. Is this time manipulation something that the protagonist is actively doing? And if so, is it a power of some kind or some sort of tech that's causing it to happen? We did see in some leaked footage of the beginning of the film that someone around him could do it, but maybe it was him. Or could it have possibly been our antagonist? Well, a single line in the trailer may just have gave us our answer. When talking about Kenneth Branagh's character, who is some sort of former Russian agent, it is stated that he communes with the future, which points towards this being a power of some kind and not necessarily tech-based. So in theory, when we see stuff like this fight sequence, that could be the protagonist using the power to get an upper hand. So let's take this idea and think of how things might play out. You see, previously the only real plot details that we knew was that our protagonist was going to be joining up with a spy agency of some kind, in order to try to stop someone from igniting a massive global conflict, aka World War III. So here is what I'm thinking for the plot, based on everything that we've seen. The film will start out with the protagonist working either as a spy or a mercenary of some kind for some other agency. But his mission is gonna go wrong, and he's going to be exposed to a massive bit of tech that's gonna grant him this time manipulation power. From there, he's going to be recruited by this new, super secret agency, and briefed on the situation with Branagh. See, Branagh is someone who has also gained these time-based powers, and he has seen the future. A future that he either wants to completely avoid, or try to bring about. Either way, he is dead set on basically shaking our world to its very core in order to affect the timeline the way that he sees fit. And the protagonist, partnered alongside Robert Pattinson, will set out to stop him. And throughout this plot, we're not only going to get some awesome spy-based action, as one would expect from a movie like this, but also some crazy sci-fi visuals. Nolan is well known for some of the most out-there shots in recent cinematic history, with Inception blowing the minds of audience members all over the world. In that film, in case you forgot, Nolan played with the free-flowing worlds one would expect to see within the subconscious mind of someone who is in a deep sleep. And yeah, it definitely led to some crazy stuff. However, I think it is safe to assume that Tenet might just push the envelope even further. Already, we've seen some pretty amazing looking stuff in the trailers. Sure, we probably won't see something as awe-inspiring as a city literally folding in half, but there is something to be said for the subtlety that this time manipulation effect could have. And since it's not limited to the world within someone's dreams, we could potentially see a lot more shots featuring some form of time-based effects. Honestly, no matter what we see in Tenet, I for one am pretty excited to see Nolan return to the science fiction genre. While his work on Dunkirk was nothing short of amazing, when I think of Christopher Nolan, I think of two things: The Dark Knight, obviously, and trippy, brain-busting sci-fi. What do you think the Tenet is about? Are you as hyped for it as I am? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And while you're down there, why not consider subscribing to CBR for more awesome stuff just like this? You won't regret it. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.